Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right, Brother Tazapah. And I want to continue with yesterday's lesson dealing with Weeby's watermelon felons, boss. And what it's dealing with is the situation that went down concerning Austin Metcalf and Anthony Carmelo. And the only reason I'm doing this sequel, all right, is for scripture's sake. And the only reason I'm bringing out this whole issue or speaking to it, all right, is to point out the psychosis of our people. Now, the sad part about all of this, if you really take everything into consideration, is that Metcalf parents got him put to death, got him killed, and Anthony's parents got him life in prison. And that's the sad reality of it. And I don't give a damn about these Edomites. And that's why I say I want to speak to the psychosis of our people. All right? Because, you know, and I didn't spend much time looking into this, examining the story. You just listen to the parents speak. Okay? And look at the actions of Carmelo Anthony's parents. All right, look at their actions. You go and buy a $500,000 house? All right, now, me in that situation, I go bankrupt before I give my son over to these goddamn devils and this system. And if I had money like that, you could best believe all that's on council. All of that. If it's anything left, then we could talk about doing this, that, and the third. But first thing is first, but not with our people. It's never first thing first. We as a nation do everything ass fucking backwards. It just is what it is. All right. And again, all right, Metcalf's parents got him put to death. Anthony's parents got him locked up for life. That's the tragedy of this. All right, and look, let's hit these scriptures. Because like I said, this is why I really want to go into this and show you, because, right, first and foremost, what did the Lord say? All right, first and foremost. First Peter 4:17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. So with that being read, Most High don't send judgment first. He sends his prophets first. So that, as Yahweh Shai stated, you don't have a cloak for your sin. You don't have an excuse. You have zero reason. All right? So judgment beginning at us. So the Lord is dealing with us first. All right? And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai? All right? And that's the heathens among Israel and the heathens in the world. Everybody getting judged, baby. But first is those who were responsible. All right? The Israelites. So now, Psalms. I'm going to start here at verse 7. But 8 is what I want. But I feel like 7 is going to come in handy somewhere in this lesson. But this Psalm 73, verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. This is talking about the eyes of the wicked. They have envious and wanting eyes. You know that song? I think that's the song, yeah. Hungry eyes. Ain't that a song? Hungry eyes. Esau sung that. That's him fulfilling this scripture. They got hungry eyes. You know, my grandparents, especially my grandmama, you know, you little and you think you hungry. But you be hungry, but you just ain't hungry as you thought you was. And the old folks used to say, yeah, your eyes got bigger than your stomach. You know? Now Esau, his eyes stand out with fatness. All right? They have more than heart could wish. And here's the point. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. And that's what Metcalf got up there and did. Austin Metcalf's father, you know, he went on this, they say it was 3 hours, if I heard correctly. A 3-hour rant. Just showing all his racism. Okay? And there may be a bigger agenda at hand in all of this. And we prophesied that, you know, that you'll see racial tensions in America. All right, along with a civil war. All right. So get this, verse 9, because we went into this yesterday, right? They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. All right. So this is a good time to go back to revisit Revelation 20 from yesterday. Verse 7, we read that, you know, after he is loosed for a little season out of his prison, and I'm paraphrasing Revelations chapter 20, verse 7. After he shall be loosed out of his prison, it said he shall go out in the earth to deceive. How? Right, by way of lies. This is what it is saying here. And their tongue walketh through the earth. Yeah, these people over here, that's Chinese. Them, that's Japanese. Us, we're Israeli. And them people over there, they black. Yeah, let's see. That's what's wrong with the earth. See, we got to get rid of these black people. You see, let me show you what they do. Well, they got us in their movies, their TV shows. All our music is trap drill or just slut. Trap drill, slut. That's the top genres in the rap genre. The top. That's what, because that's what Esau wants. All right, his tongue walking through the earth. So meaning whatever he dictates, whatever he says, whatever he wants. Because Job chapter 9 verse 24 tells us that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof. So after he was loosed during the time of his renaissance, all right, rebirth, around the mid to late 1300s, they came back into power, and Fourth Reich went forth to deceive. All right. And so now they have everybody thinking that all of their woes are coming from poor black folk. Us watermelon felon boss. All right. Us who have no advocacy, no power, no voice. We can't even speak for ourselves, yet we're the cause of everybody's problems. That's what they want you to believe. If we could just do something with these awful Negroes. All right. I think I'm going to go here first, and then I want to highlight, okay, to get a brother his love. All right. I want to highlight the elder Manatazachba of North Carolina. He did a video last night, and it's dealing with the hypocrisy that white folks even are calling out, the hypocrisy of these Edomites. And as he stated, which yeah, I had no problem with it at all. I could see it being so. I'm not saying it is, but I could see it that, some of them on the video may very well be Israelites. All right, I had no issue with that whatsoever. We're going to have a vast array and variety of Israel. All right, that's what's going to make us beautiful. What they call that? Well, anyway, the variety. But I want to go here. Speaking to the psychosis, as I mentioned, of our people, the children of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans. All right? Y'all per se are not the problem. Is that y'all been wholly given over to sorcery, witchcraft, and that's not to take any responsibility or accountability from us, all right, because you're to be held accountable now because the prophets are here. You understand? But y'all been under corruption so long to where you don't know what corruption is or what it looks like, all right? You've been smelling the stink for so long that you no longer register it as stink, all right? And that's in the case of our oppressors, his pathologies, his neurosis. They're psychopaths, they're sociopaths. And unless you give yourself to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, because I was under his trance, all right? But I was beginning to wake up, but there's no way to fully wake up because you got them at, in the halfway house, all right? in the halfway house. But, just as with Esau in this halfway house, you really still, locked up. They just give you a little bit more freedoms. So, you have those who they see the system is broken. They see the things that are wrong with the world, but they have no answer. Or they have a carnal answer. But they can see that everything is messed up. You have to allow, the Most High have to wake you up. All right? And if he doesn't, and this is, right here is the Lord speaking to other Israelites that were in the mindset of their captors. And what happens, let me frame this question this way. Mindset produces what? Actions. All right? So when the oppressor gives you his mindset, you become him. Okay? And they only police our neighborhoods to lock us up. Not to protect you, to serve and protect, like they say. But not to protect you. Not to keep you safe. But they know you're going to do something criminal. Because they left you very little, if any, choice. So they're policing for when you do that crime. And they right there. And then, as I stated, then they put this in the news. I didn't mention the news. You got to put the news out there. All of their media, the movies, TV shows, and especially the news programming. so that, in the words of Bill Cosby, they can have a finger to point at when they look at the news. Now, Bill was talking about, when they read the paper, how they put descriptions of us, but when they do something, it's just a man committed this, a man did that. But when we do something, a black man. And Bill stated that it's true. And so they can, rest easy at night because they say, whew, at least it ain't us. Or, they can have a face besides them to attach to all of this negativity and crime. So here we are, John 8:44, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Ye are of your father. You see? Why? How? In mind, in spirit. And what does that lead to? And the lust of your father ye will do. It leads to actions. Now get this. He was a murderer from the beginning. All right, you want to point out this man who was scared, who committed manslaughter. This is what the Lord, this is Yahweh Shai is saying about white folk. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Remember how we ended the lesson yesterday, Job chapter 20, verse 4 and 5. But it says that the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. That ain't the whole scripture, but that was the point, that the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. These actors, these thespians, these are mastered thespians. All right? Actors. It says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. All right? This is how he made his bones. He was a murderer from the beginning. And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. All right? This is who they are. And they have the nerve to sit up here and call us this, call us that. No. Y'all created the nigga. The modern nigga. Okay. Because it's always been niggas. It's always been niggas. What you think the Canaanites were?
Fully charged battery, fully charged. Unplugged charger.
Straight niggas. All right? Them Canaanites were straight niggas. That's why the Lord say, go in and slay utterly. All right? So I ain't going to put that on Esau. Esau didn't create them Canaanites. But the modern day nigga is a pure Edomite creation. So that's gaslighting in the purest form, to get up here and to call us anything. All right? These are your boys and your goyim. I ain't. I'm of my father. What did the Lord say? Ye, talking about you niggas, are of your father. Not I, says me. I'm of my father, which art in heaven. All right? I'm going to play a little of this. I may not get to the elders video today, but Lord will tomorrow. Because even Edomites are saying, man, come on, man. Y'all just doing too much. Yeah, you got Edom. Well, they could be Jake. All right? They could be Jake. But they calling out. And usually you're right. An Edomite is not going to call out another Edomite. Normally. Let's go here.
Then, and this is now that he's had the veil lifted off of his eyes about a certain group of people.
I've been disrespected by so many people, so many times while I've had to sit here and take it. You are grifters. You should be ashamed of yourself. You raised that child, and I swear to God, CPS for sure, check on those other three that you still have. You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim. The real victim is the one who died, not the one who shoved a knife in his chest. I come to pray with you and show the world we can close the gap of this unbelievable racial divide. And what'd you do? You widen the gap even further. You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Hey, let me make something racist up.
See that you people shit. And all that shows is that he paints us all with the same brush. All right? That is the nigger brush.
Y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you?
He ain't that witty and creative. He just came up with that. This was him and his partners on the golf course. They came up with this shit, you know, cracking these nigger jokes. That's a nigger joke he done heard at his goddamn what they call that shit, the club. Forget what they call it. At his country club.
I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's going to have many nights to think about what the fuck he did.
Here's Mr. Metcalf with some more comments about Carmelo's death.
What kind of father are you? You want to talk about what kind of father? All right, let's talk about what kind of father you are. Let's talk about your arrest. Let's talk about your warrants. How was it?
And that's what I'm talking about. You grow up in a crime-infested environment, it's going to affect you. I can't get in a tub of water and come out dry. That's what the movie Trading Places was about. The old rich crackers had a bet. One said that the environment had an effect on people, and he could take somebody rich, put them in a poor environment, and they'll become a criminal. And he could take a criminal, put him in a rich environment, and he'll become a productive member of society. That's what that movie showed, all right? And that movie is the truth, to a degree.
Drugs? Coke? You did? Tell me some other Let's pull it up. Because I'm welcome every one of you to pull up my criminal history. I hope you're proud of yourself, bro. I hope you go home and tell your 3 little kids your brother's in prison because he's a dumbass and he stabbed someone.
All right, and I'm going to play some of the brother video. I'm going to let it rise since it's GMS. You ain't got to worry about commercials. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what I want. All right. This is us. You know, you can probably get that first one. But of course, that's how Satan works, you know. That's how Satan works. Come on, man. Everything was written. Anyway, I got more scripture. All right. And this is Zechariah 11, verse 4. Thus said the Lord, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. You see, this is what's going on in the world. It's funny that they don't want to play this brother video, man. Let's see. Shit.
Carmelo Anthony had been white, not only would he have not been convicted, there'd have never been charges. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Well, I hope it's better. I really do. Whole thing was a goddamn tragedy, and it was started by the kid that died. But if Carmelo Anthony had been white and the other kid had been black, these same people that are calling Carmelo Anthony a murderer would be celebrating him all over social media as standing up. Yeah. Young man, 14-year-old man by the name of Carmack Belton was his last name, was chased down in South Carolina. Chased. The guy had to chase him and shot him in the back. The guy that shot him was white. Belton was black. That jury said self-defense because he was white. The only reason Carmelo Anthony was convicted was because we are a broken, fucking, bigoted country, and Carmelo Anthony was black. Any other way you slice this, it would have been self-defense. We are that fucking broken.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, this place is broken, but we've been broken with it. And this is recent. Before women's lib, desegregation, and all of that, we lived like we had some sense. When we were segregated and our women wasn't liberated from us, we were doing all right. But then what? We got into his ways. And now look at us. And he's absolutely right. The ways of America are broken, and so are its children. So I'm going to have to end it right there. Let me let up here.
Just to prove a point.
And this bitch know much rap history than me.
I wish that maybe for a year, maybe longer, that black people would not play in any sports at all.
All right, we'll play it tomorrow. I think this the chick, she go into the rap history and all of that, you know. And I think this the same chick too that the elder said she might have a nigga. You know, she might be with a Jake. And I said the same thing when I first saw her. I said, oh, she with a brother, you know, or a Jake. But anyway, Lord will, we'll continue this tomorrow. All right, just to get the rest of these scriptures out, and we'll see how it goes. So till then, y'all stay up. Much love. Shalom.